reliving those moments over and over again, and it's just hurting me more and more and tormenting me more and more. The kind of job I do is one where sometimes for, let's say, maybe 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, I'm just on table doing nothing. And what this forces me to do is get buried in my thoughts. Like literally, I just keep going on a tangent and I'm just having like different thoughts flooding my mind and stuff. And I really struggled a couple of times because like my mind just keeps, oh my god, our minds are such, I don't even know the word to use honestly, but our minds are honestly something else. And literally, you can literally have an entire battle in your mind. You can literally live 5 years in your mind because you can just keep going. And I realized that I struggled a lot with that because many times I'm forced to think on maybe things that have happened in the day or in the week or in the past week and all of that, or something somebody said or something, how something went and all of that. And I'm literally reliving those moments over and over again, and it's just hurting me more and more and tormenting me more and more. And like I was really struggling with a couple of things that happened, like especially like towards the end of the year. And because of that, I would dread going to work and having those times when I cannot be working or like speaking because I just have to be quiet and just have to be my thoughts. And something happened that honestly changed things for me and made me no longer dread it anymore. And it was the realization that I could actually control my thoughts and I could actually decide what I want to think about. You know, when scriptures say in Philippians 4:8, I'll be reading the Christian Standard Bible version. It says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any moral excellence and if there is anything praiseworthy, dwell on these things. And so I found myself in a place where I needed to make that intentional decision to give myself what to think about. So literally, I'll tell myself, we're not thinking about this, we're not thinking about this, this is what we'll think about. And sometimes it was more difficult than others, so I intentionally had to feed my mind. So what do I mean? For instance, maybe 1 hour or 30 minutes before I have to go to my table, I read a scripture. Maybe I read a chapter from a book of the Bible. So by the time I get to my seat, I'm literally meditating on that thing I've read. I'm pondering on it, meditating, murmuring it, pondering on it over and over again, tossing and turning it in my head. And literally, that is how I'm able to guide my thoughts and control my thoughts. It is a lie of the devil, or it's a lie when you think that you really do not have any control over your mind and somehow you're just forced to think of things. Sometimes we think that our minds, for the longest time I actually thought that my mind throws at me what I should think of or what I'm supposed to think of, but now I realize that I can actually control what I think of, what I ponder on, what I spend my mind meditating on. Guys, it is very important for us to guide our thoughts. It's important for you to guard your heart again, because out of it flows the issues of life, and from the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. It is what you've allowed into your heart that you continue to ponder on, continue to meditate on. That is what we would see. It is literally, you can create your future or create your reality or your destiny or create your life by the things that you meditate or think about. So it's very important to guide your heart, guide your mind, guide what you think, guide what you meditate on. Literally, you can give yourself what to think about. And Bible here has given us a guide on things that we ought to think about, things that are true, things that are trustworthy, things that are of good report, that are commendable, that are of virtue. Remember that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It is actually a cycle. It's like garbage in, garbage out. You feed into your heart, and from what you fed into your heart, your mouth speaks. So you have to guide your heart, guide your mind, knowing that it is what I put into my mind that my mouth would speak, and what I speak has a way of creating my reality and what I experience. And this is why it is so important to fight for the purity of your heart, because if you're dwelling so much on negativity and negative things, and then like you're thinking on these things, you keep proclaiming them, you keep speaking them, and the more you speak them, the more negativity you see. Do you see? So it's like a cycle that keeps going. So the way to change it is to change what you're thinking on, change what you're meditating on, so that way you can change what you're speaking as well, and then see something different. In Joshua, it talks about how the book of the law should not depart from your mouth, but you should meditate on it day and night, so that you'll be able to observe and do all that is written
in it, and then you'll be able to make your way prosperous. And that word there, meditate, in the Hebrew word, we see how that word doesn't just mean to meditate, but it means to ponder. And that same word means you begin to speak, you begin to shout. So it is from pondering and meditating on these things that you literally begin to speak them. So it doesn't just stop at your head, it gets to your mouth, you begin to speak them. And by speaking these things and pondering on them, you now start to act them out, and by so doing make your way prosperous. So it is a cycle that we should all be so intentional about. Similarly, if you've been pondering on, for instance, how somebody annoyed you and how somebody upset you and all of that, like you build so much annoyance in your head, and the chances that when you see that person you would act out towards the person or like respond from that place of annoyance is very, very high. Whereas if maybe you are pondering on what the scripture says about forgiveness, love, and all of that, and making excuses for the person in your head and all of that, when you see the person, the chances that you would not act so annoyed towards them is really high. So this is what the Bible means by out of it flows the issues of life, because now the things in your heart have literally guided how you've acted, how you've done life. This is how what you think on can literally influence what you do and how you act. And that is again why the Bible stresses on the things to think on and the purity of those things, because that will literally determine how you live and all that you do. So it is something that you should be deliberate about. It's something that you can be deliberate about. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I will see you in my next video. The camera died while I was recording, so I just had to finish it off at a later time. Have a great day, everyone, and bye.